guys, I'm going to be doing a video of my bog planters. This is going to be a winter video. I know I've not uploaded one for a while. I was going to do one sort of coming into winter, autumn time, but I ended up getting quite ill, so I'm going to do one now, just before it starts to get into spring, so you can see what the plants look like. This is what they'll pretty much look like all year, all winter. I have cut back a lot of the pictures, so as the pictures start to die away, you can see on this Sarracenia here, so the pictures have died away now, so I will cut them off come spring, but I'll only cut off what's brown, so I'll sort of cut off underneath there, because you don't want to, it's better to keep these pictures for as long as possible over the winter, because the plant will still use the nutrient that it's caught over the summer period. See that leucophylla's just started to go to sleep there. They are the later, so they stay awake pretty much quite all the way into basically winter. Your leucophyllas, they're an autumn bloomer. So this sort of came as autumn started to kick off. That started to come up, and now spring's on its way. That one's died back. It's produced these long, thin, non-carnivorous leaves. So most Sarracenias will produce those over the winter. I think it's actually maybe just more the leucophyllas that create them. Flavias just go to sleep. The hybrid there, gone to sleep. But you can see the crown of the plant. I don't know if you can see in there. It's properly chunky, nice and healthy. You can see on that leuco giant. Look at the size of that. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous crown. Same as the little leuco giant there. So that's getting nice and chunky. The hybrid at the back, absolutely monster. Been in a good couple of years now. It's nice and tough, nice and rooted. The Max Rawlings. I'm expecting this to be a stunning plant this year. Gorgeous big red pitchers, similar to the one at the back there. So that woke up late because it was a cutting. So that started to wake up a bit later in the summer last year, so it only produced its smaller pitchers, but I'm expecting that to get nice and tall this year. The Darlingtonia californica in the middle there didn't have the best year. Coming into winter it really struggled. I think it felt the cold a little bit more than some of these plants. We have had quite a bad winter. I don't know where you are in the world, but in the northwest UK we had frosts down to -10, and they sort of hung around, which is unusual for this area of the world. We're right on the coast in Blackpool. The weather does get cold over the winter, but it doesn't normally get too bad. It got pretty low, and this was frozen solid for a couple of weeks at a time. I think a lot of the plants have really struggled. The Cephalotus follicularis that was put in there last year as an experiment. I do believe that will not be coming back this year. I think that has completely died. The little hybrid that I rescued, it's not done too bad. It survived the winter. It's got new life coming in the middle there. You can see it. It's waking up quite nicely. The DCXL put some proper chunk on, so that's a nice beastie plant. I don't think that's going to have a problem this year. Spatulata didn't do very well. Drosera spatulacha, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, I do apologise. And I don't think this guy's done very well. I'd be very surprised if I see this guy come back. I think I just got lucky last year. I'm trying to have a look. Yeah, I think that's completely gone. That's a Stylidium. A plant that's not normally considered hardy, but it survived last year, but I don't think last year was as bad winter-wise, and I think it was a little bit more mild. We got hit quite heavy this year. Drosera anglica, English sundew, it's not done too bad. The rest in Habiculum starting to wake up, not done too bad. Filiformis, I actually took that apart and split it. That was a much chunkier plant last year, but a couple of weeks ago I actually broke that down and split it. I wanted to propagate it, so I planted a little one back to carry on growing. But yeah, that shrunk in size, but it survived quite well over the winter. Another couple of plants over here, so we've got Drosera intermedia there. Then we've got another Drosera anglica there. Little Venus flytrap in the middle. That survived quite well for a youngster. You can see all the Stylidium debelia Again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but you can see how it's rotted away. Again, another one that's not considered native. I think it's a South African plant, Stylidium, the trigger plant. But for some reason it comes back every year, but we'll see whether it survived this harsh winter that we've had. Loads of little Sarracenia sort of seedlings popping up. There's one down there right in the middle. I noticed one here underneath the Stylidium. See a little trumpet. I've noticed a few of them. Some rogue seeds. The purpurea. Sarracenia purpurea, so a lot of these ones will get cut off for new growth. You don't want to suffocate the plant, you want to give it room to grow out. But yeah, that's survived quite well. Some new growth coming in at the bottom of it, starting to wake up as we're heading into February now. This country does get some colder weather going into March and April, so these plants will wake up quite slowly with them being outside and they're quite exposed. I'll just move on to this one with Venus flytrap garden. Oh no, Pinguicula, I forgot about him there, look. Pinguicula habit, a little resting bud there. He's nice and happy. There was another one over here somewhere, but I think I lost that. Yeah, I think it'll still be in there somewhere, it's probably just receded quite far underground. They can drop down quite a lot, completely disappear. So this is the Venus flytrap pot. I say that, there's a big Sarracenia God's gift sat there and an Oreophylla sat there. Oreophylla should soon wake up because they do wake up the earliest out of all the Sarracenias. They're the sort of the first ones to start to show life. That's a it's a Drosera hybrida. I think it's a hybrid of Filiformis and Anglica. But that was put in late last year. I bought it at Gardens World last year from Matt Soper. I split it, so I put one there and I put one there. Can you just see it there? So yeah, that's looking like it's showing signs of life. So I'm quite happy with that. Red Piranha, Venus flytrap, green wizard. It does look a little bit rough that, but it looks like it could be okay. Jazz red, nice and happy. Looks like it's going to start waking up. Great white shark, I think that was. Doing okay. I can't remember actually what this one was. I can't remember whether it was a vitiligo or whether I changed it for something else. But doing good anyway. Well, another spatulata there. I don't think that's going to be waking up. I think that's completely gone. Pinguicula I Spy, temperate hybrid. Nice little resting bud there. This one will be interesting to watch. This was Reniformis. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, sorry. A Ultricula Reniformis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they are not considered temperate. So they are not cold tolerant at all, I believe. But they do have quite thick tubers, so I'm wondering whether it's just receded underground to its tubers and whether it might make a comeback. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. Cephalotus follicularis. I did put a little bit of cover over it. I don't think it's worked, but we shall see. Another couple of native Droseras as well as intermedia. And I think there's an yeah, there's a couple more in here. I think there's an Anglica knocking about. But so far, that's looking okay. So my two pots. Oh, I'll do another one while I'm here. I'll carry on. I'll show you this one. Don't think much survived over here. That's a Citizina. It got pulled out by a bird, one of my pots. I chucked it in there, hope for the best. It's not normally considered a cold tolerant plant, but doesn't seem to have done too bad. This is just a random hybrid that you might have seen in one of my other videos. I don't really know where it come from. It might have come up from seed at some point. I'm not too sure. Chucked it in there, see how it goes. Some cold tolerant. I think that's an Anglica. Not too sure what that was. Might not have even been a carnivorous plant. Might have been a weed. But the Darlingtonia seems to have come through the winter okay. Gonna need a trim back soon. But they sent out a runner, but the runner hasn't rooted yet. So I'm hoping that should root because it's still attached by its by its parent plant. That one didn't do too bad, still showing signs of life. Lovely. These have been kept wet all year as well, because I didn't actually install a way of draining this, so this has just overflowed, and with the winds and the rain it froze solid at one point. So they've survived quite a hammering this year. That's a little dog pot that I made for somebody at work. But yeah, it's my little carnivorous garden. Thanks for watching.